Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for Fairy Tail Manga chapter 439. Yeah, I just looked over at my laptop screen. I still got the chapter open. But yeah, chapter 439. So this chapter is about learning. It's like we get a lot of things explained to us in this chapter, and that's good. It answers a lot of questions that we've been wondering for a while now. So, and we get answers, questions from this chapter. So the chapter starts off. We have Mest and we have Urza, and they're on their way to Lumen History. Lumen History, I think that's what it's called. They're on the way down, so they're going downstairs on the way to Lumen History, and Ness is just explaining to us as they're on the way down that how it's only the fairy tale master who's allowed down to this bit of fairy tale, and he just goes on to explain it. But as he busts open the door now, we find out how Natsu, Grey, Wendy, Happy, Carla or Chanel or whatever her name is, and Lucy snuck along, and they came along for the ride as well. And so they basically see that this Lumen History, and they're just basically asking. Sorry, that was my phone. Yeah, they see Lumen History, and they're basically just asking questions about why is the first master's body embedded in this crystal. Everyone's asking that, and what Mess says to this is that he doesn't know the full. He doesn't know everything. But what Mess does using his magic, he goes on to explain what's been going on, and it's the rest of the chapter is mostly flashback. We get to see when Maverick asks Mess to infiltrate the Magic Council, and we basically find out that Maverick wanted him to do this so he can gather intel on the West Continent. And then as the chapter goes on, we learn that how Mest used his magic on himself to better his infiltration. Like without his memories, he felt he could do a better job of the infiltration. And we learned that how he put countermeasures in place that how when Maverick undoes the magic, he will get his memories back. So this is how they've been in communication, and they've been in communication back and forth for a while, with Maverick unlocking the magic so he can speak to him, and then putting the magic back in place so he can further infiltrate. And it's during his infiltration, because he didn't have his original memories, he thought, why don't he infiltrate Fairy Tail? Because basically Maverick was pissing him off with his constant visits. So he thought, why don't he infiltrate Fairy Tail and get secrets about Fairy Tail for the council? Because we know that the council are not big Fairy Tail fans. Not big Fairy Tail fans. So yeah, so that's why Mest is there for the S rank exams, basically. So yeah, the flashback goes on, and then I'm just gonna skip through to a bit. So at the end of the infiltration, when Mess gets his memories unlocked for the last time, we find out that Maverick and Mess had a little talk there, and it was based on the intel that Mess brought back for him, based on the intel that Maverick gathered himself, that he came to the decision of disbanding the Fairy Tail. And we also learn why that he did this, and why he did this was because because in the West Country there's this empire called Alvarez, and we learned that Alvarez is an empire built of 730 guilds, if I remember correctly. And this Alvarez, 10 years ago, they attacked Ishgar, and this is the country that Fairy Tail is in. They attacked Ishgar because they wanted Lumen history. So, and this was 10 years ago. So, and they failed this because the council used Ephrion to stop them. We also learned through Mavrock that Ephrion and that face, the things that was used in the previous arc, just gone. These were countermeasures to stop Alvarez if they ever was to come back. And now Mavrock is saying that how, because there is no, because what this was at the time, there was no council, and now that Ephrion and Face is now gone, he thinks that now Alvarez will see this as an opportunity to attack again and therefore get Lumen history for themselves. And yeah, for themselves. So Mess says, why don't we just attack? Why don't we just take them on? This isn't the fairy tale way. And we learned that their numbers greatly outdo the numbers of Ishgar, because we find out how there's only 500 mage guilds in Ishgar to the 730 which make up the Alvarez Empire. So you can see that there that the numbers are clearly in the West Continent's favour. So Mavrock decides that how he's gonna go to the West Continent, go to Alvarez and try and reason with them so they don't come and attack. So I don't know what he's got planned, but he's going there to try and reason with them. And the reason that he disbanded Fairy Tale is so that he can save them. He's trying to do the parent thing and protect them. So because if there is no Fairy Tale, then maybe so Alvarez won't come for them, basically. So that was Mavrock's intentions. If that would have actually worked, we don't know. Probably not. They would have probably, I reckon that Alvarez would have probably still come and so they would have already known about Fairy Tale, so they would have looked for ex-Fairy Tale members and asked them, do you know about this, do you know about that? So what Mavrock planned might not have worked anyway. So in essence, I say disbanding Fairy Tale wasn't a good idea, but maybe it was his best option, and I do believe, yeah, so maybe it was his best option. But yeah, so that's the chapter. I do like this chapter, like I said before, very informative. I do like the lengths that Mavrock was willing to go to protect the members of Fairy Tale. Shows how much he cares about them. We get that a lot through Fairy Tale, but it's further emphasized again in this chapter. So I did like it. I'm only going to give it a I'm stuck between 4 and 4.5. It's not going to be 5. To get a 5, my mind has to be at least starting to be a bit blown, but this didn't do that. This is just informative, and I'm getting information that makes me say, okay, like my mind's not being blown, so I'm going to give it 4 stars. It's going to be a 4-star chapter. Yeah, but that's it, guys. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, but most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.